What's going on, YouTubes? Did you catch this morning's video? We have a huge recap today. Let's get into it. All right, there's the 1618. So what happened? Gap up, obvious. Push. Broke over the 1618. Back tested. The best pivot that we always say is the 1618 and continued. Lo and behold, too easy. What's that do? Well, gave us an algo at 3M. We said, watch that GP fill. That will be a long potential big time. What did we see? Another algo filled the GP as said, big time, right? So now we have this algo right here, 730. Nice half hole. We maintain above 667. Welcome to the GP. That's it. Simple as that. We're all in longs right now. Simple as that. Let's take a look at what happened with the prediction. And I want to give you guys a bunch of extra confirmations here via those ETFs. So as the video had suggested, we had a long and a short setup today. So let's get a bear chart first, and then we will come into the setups with the fibs. So this morning I said, as long as we hold 667, where does that come from? Well, we're going to go back to that 15-minute we keep talking about here that had the perfect GP structure for us. Right here, we had 3 in a row. Oh, where's my... There we go. 1, 2, 3. Slide that baby to the right. No tag GPs. This is where we got the 677 from. And we said we have a very hardcore upside right now for the open, and we had 2 plans for it. As we posted in my Discord, we walked everybody through it via text and through live stream, called the entire thing before it happened, like we love to try and do. Let's look at the catalyst here for this. And if you watched our last couple of videos, we did explain that. We explained the slash pivot right here for the major support, and then obviously the recycle on psychological news, how the opening pop was also going to be a drop because of the 100 EMA magnet. So let's get into the confirmations on why this worked out without giving away too much of the system here. So 677, as we said, anything above this, we'll see you at the GP. So we said we would be buying anything into 677 and the 100 EMA, giving us a long push up here of about 15 points on ES. Now, we had a really good sneaking suspicion it was going to go long, very easy day today, and we could call it before it happens because of a few things. If you look to your left here in pre-market, you're going to notice the price action came up almost hitting 678. In our group, I call this a shy. It's when price action gets really close to a key zone that we need to tag, that the algos want to tag, and then doesn't tag it. So we have a move back up, excuse me, into the GP, back down to the 100 and the 677, hold 677, and because if you look to your left right here, as we keep saying, that scam shy right there, which was pre-market high, has a magnet attached to it. That means if we hold above the 677, we will shoot up into this GP. Now, the 100 EMA was my second catalyst, and I drew a couple drawings for the morning, and I said, as long as this thing either dips or holds 677, we're long it into 15, 20 points of free money. So catalyst 1 was the Fibonacci golden pocket shy, knowing that we had a chance to range back up and hit that GP. Another reason for the long, and we'll go over that, is the volatility index, our favorite indicator, making everything real easy for us on how we read it. So I work off gaps, and that's my number 1 besides Fibonacci. And I was looking at 2 different things on the VIX. This is what guided me to my opening morning strategy for long, short, long. So I'm going to use the volatility index open right here, and I'm going to look to my left, and we're going to notice a gap left open at 1791. Now, in a regular standard trading day, if the VIX ever starts here at 1858 like it did, we generally look for it to return to yesterday's lows because leaving a daily gap on the VIX is extremely rare. But today we had an obvious psychological catalyst. That catalyst was government reaching terms to reopen. Right? So that was going to be extra bullish for the market, and we were going to go long macro and otherwise. So I was not looking for the VIX to return to yesterday's lows at the open or even the 100 EMA because I knew the psychological catalyst would screw up our original normal magnets that we usually use because psychological catalysts are always number 1. So that takes us to the gaps. If you look at the prior day's action, we have a gap at 1791 and we had a gap at open. So I told my crew in Discord and I said, wait until the VIX comes down to 1791, and then we are going to short the crap out of it. If the VIX opens up and starts heading down towards that at weakness, you can long the opening morning to the GP, which we did. After the GP hit and the price level 1791 gap was hit as support, we had a chance to move up to the top gap, right? So the gap at open. So as soon as the VIX came into this, I knew that we had weakness coming in the market right here into 9:30 a.m. So I'm going to move that VIX back open, and we're going to get to the original chart. And this is what we had tagged up for my group. If you look right here, we had watch tag scalp down. I don't know why that's so small. Let's bold it up, make it big. This is what it looks like. A kablamo. Watch tag scalp down. I misspell everything. Get used to it. So the watch tag scalp down was right here. That is our long target, 38.20, which we put out this morning. And I'll remove these boxes for long to short, and I'll show you the last bit of confirmation here. So we had an algo candle right here that pushed the extension of the 1618 right here under 38.20 of the 15-minute GP that we keep talking about. And I said, as long as it pushes into here, we have a short scalp. And if we get closes underneath a very specific level, which I will give you, we will definitely go short. So the opening range, we did not click into that 100 EMA. This is very important. As we held 677, we knew that pop up to here was the easy long out of the gate. And why did I have a sneaking suspicion it was going to come down? All because of the 100 EMA. So if I go to another blank chart right here, we had exponential strength off a reversal from Friday. We grinded all the way up. We could not backtest the 100 EMA and did another run. A lot of the times we sweep over a good high Asia session and 3 a.m. This is when stocks open Central Time for me. And when in the pre, so when this comes up to a push and sweep, we have a chance to come down to the 100 EMA, because if you look at all day's price action, we have skipped touching the 100 EMA since Friday. So we broke over that 100 EMA, had a gap run with news on government reopening, shied the 100 EMA. So the second we find real resistance, we will jolt back down to the 100 EMA. That real resistance was called by us at the 15-minute GP here. Okay. So as we get out of the SPY, I will give you the other, and he had the note right here. It says anything above 100 EMA 5-minute will manip all perfect short setups. So if we get back above that 100 EMA 5-minute, bye-bye shorts. We have that note there as well. Breaking the 100 EMA, back over the 100 EMA, back testing the 100 EMA in the green. Hello, short manip. Easy peasy, right? So we wanted the 100 EMA, we wanted the dip, and a live tag. Two important factors. Pay attention. I'm not going to go over this publicly for free very much longer after we release the Fibonacci course. It's only going to be watched by me when I do it live. In this area, I'm going to give you different confirmations than these algo pivots. On the cycle right here of Thursday to Friday, this extremely important volatility vacuum on the Fibonacci was created to the downside to the 666. I call this a cycle. It's when we draw a Fibonacci point and it cycles entirely to a 666, which is a very unique extension built by us here. And when it does this, without having a back test of any of these metrics, we have a chance to fly back to that GP. So when I seen this gap up here, one thing stuck out in which I talk about a lot. The 1618 pivot is the strongest pivot ever. When you look at Friday's action and Thursday's action, we only had the cycle point 1 and recycle point never hit the 1618. After hours doesn't count. Pre-market doesn't count. What did it do when it pushed up to the GP target long? Oh, lo and behold, it just magneted right back to the strongest pivot of the 1618, along with having the extra catalyst of not tagging the 100 EMA all day. What's the second catalyst? Well, I was screaming at my crew right here, and I was like, don't you dare short this until we have an opportunity to see under a specific 1618, okay? And that was going to be this guy here. So what we did, there we go, was make a 1618 with Q's target. Now Q's, I put on a target this morning for my group, and I said anything over the 100 EMA, we return to the 100% fib. This is the same exact 15 cluster. You don't have to go back and look. It's the same thing from Thursday's pre-market. The open at the 100 EMA pushes up. It goes to here at the 100. We got over 100 points to that upside, and we played two different positions here. We came back up. This is the opening 5-minute fib. We'll do this on the 5-minute chart, make it a little cleaner. See, same fibs, extension 666, recycle, and the pivot was the 1618 again, like always. So 100 EMA, 5-minute over under magnet. So obviously we were over at the open, magneted down. Let's remove these. All right, so here are the plays. Here's the 5-minute open, and we said if it goes to the 1618, which it did, and it shies that 100, which it did, I wanted that 15-minute cluster, which we just talked about from Thursday's pre, 621.58. You notice the opening 5 had a break up, goes to the 1618, but did not hit 621.58. It came down, and I told my group I'm buying the shit out of the back test of the 100. Because what is our rule of Fibonacci and extensions on how we play them? It goes 5-minute high low, 1618, back test 100, and has a chance to go higher. I didn't care about any of these extensions because the 100% was the key, because that's what it needed to tag. So we scalped it from here to the 100, playing our first tag metrics. We didn't care about any of the other stuff because the GP on SPY was the main focus for resistance, not the GP on QQQ, right? So what happened? Well, I told my crew over and over and over. We sat there and sat at the screen for an hour, and we said, don't short anything until you're under the 1618. What does confirmation look like here? 935. We talked about the VIX earlier in the video, right? So we came into this. The 5-minute opening fib comes up, hits target of the 100%. I said, when it starts to close back under the 1618, since we have already done the cycle back here, 1618, 100, target hit. The second we close under the 1618, game over, back down. We were missing a tag of the 5-minute 100 EMA. So you go to that 5-minute chart, look at the open, algorithm magnet for that. No tag, push, hit, slams in. Perfect. What's the other tag? What did we need to come down to? Pre-market open was fantastic as well. The secondary was this fib right here. 3 a.m. left an algo bar we were watching right here. That golden pocket was another magnet right here. So if we high-low the 3 a.m. 5-minute, we got the 50 fib here. We came into resistance, boom, and that was the jerk down short to GP target. So all of these catalysts stacked up together, we had the absolute perfect long at the open and short, or long 2 at the open, and then short at the end, back to long because of the pivots, right? And then that brings us to the final move of the day, where we get rid of that 5-minute open, and we talk about the 100 EMA, for that's a directional for me all the time. And you'll see here that the GP finally came back later. So we failed the 100 here at the open. We shorted the crap out of it, came down and found our support on algorithm GPs from pre-market. Our moving averages 5-minute 200 SMA, 100 EMA in the green, broke over, back tested like we discussed on SPY. Up she went. And then confirmation, because I told my crew that it could be easy long over 621.58, but what do we need? Confirmation. The same thing of the short at 1618 that we just explained. So when something breaks over a level, it back tests the level and then moves to the GP. So at the end of the day, you had an extra amazing confirmation via Fibonacci. Those were all the reasons that we did a stellar $5,400 day, $500 cash day, $6,000 cash on props. And that's that. If you want to watch me do this live, links in the description. Take care.